welcome to Drawing with Bubbles. Today I am drawing LARA CROFT from, I think, the game called Tomb Raider. This image was requested by Minor Madness, and now you can see I'm working on the sketch. I was a little bit hesitant to draw this character for two different reasons, actually. The first one was being that I didn't know anything about this game prior to the drawing, and I still don't really. In fact, I never even heard of it before I got the request. But I just wanted to look her up just to see, which leads me to the second reason why I didn't really want to draw this. When I saw the pictures of Laura, I just saw this muddy, bloody, oh, I'm a poet. And not the point. Like this battle-scarred person, really tough person, and I didn't feel like drawing a person caked in dirt and blood for my drawing, because that's just not really what I do. And I was thinking maybe I could just leave this request not done. I don't really feel like doing it. But then I had this just inspiration for a drawing hit me. I got this picture of Laura just walking through a jungle with all these different plants and flowers, and I just really had to draw it, and that's what kept me going with this picture. And really all I had to do, because I didn't really agree with her design very much, just for what I want to do on this channel and what I don't want to do, so I just took some artistic liberty and kind of changed it. So now she's not covered in dirt and blood. I kept that bandage on her arm because throughout the reference pictures that seemed like a thing that was always there. So I didn't want to change it too much, but I don't want it to be graphic. I'm not really sure if that's considered graphic, but to me, for what I'm comfortable with drawing, it is. So this is what we get. I think it's still recognizable as her character. I don't know, because I don't know the character that well, so I probably wouldn't recognize her anyways. But I don't know. She's wearing the same outfit generally. I mean, then again, there were a bunch of different outfits that she wore, but still not the point. Right now, I'm working on the liner. I've been talking about that for a while, but now you know my reasoning. I'm actually about done with the liner on Laura herself, so now I'm starting on the liner on this background, which is what took most of the time in this picture. This picture total, let's see here, it took me about 7 hours and 3 minutes, I think is what I had. Yeah, that's what it was. I never spent that long on a picture before. It was crazy, but it was a lot of fun, and for some of the more repetitive parts, all I had to do was have some music playing in the background and completely distracted from the monotonous routine that was drawing all these stupid leaves. Not very fun, but like I said, music keeps me sane. It's what I do. It's what you should do when you're doing repetitive drawings like that. And another thing that helped me get through it was using the copy and paste a lot when I was doing the line art. I didn't do it in the coloring because that just would have made it even more difficult, but in the line art for some of the leaves and making the stems look nice and even, I would use the copy and paste just to get it to look more, I don't really know what word I use here, professional, I guess. And I wouldn't really say professional, but that's the only word I can think of to describe it. I didn't want it to look messy. Yeah, I didn't want it to look sloppy. That's what it was. So, yeah, just the copy and paste, it saved me a lot of time, it helped it look nicer. And some of these things, it's not super obvious, I don't think. Oh, well, it's totally obvious that she copied and pasted that because it looks exactly the same. But the thing is, it's for the most part, supposed to look exactly the same, and it's not even the focal point. So I think it's fine, and I don't think anyone would say that anyways. Now I'm starting on the coloring, and coloring Laura's skin was actually kind of interesting for me because I know it's not a good thing to do, but when I'm drawing lighter skin characters, I kind of just have this range of skin tone, very small range unfortunately, that I just go to right away. It's my go-to set of colors, and I know I shouldn't do it, but I do. And I was going to do it with this character because, it's just like a routine, something I do every time, but something held me back, and I looked at her, and she's just a really tan person. I mean, that makes sense because she, like, explores and travels and wanders all over the world, as far as I read on the Wikipedia. And steals stuff from tombs, raids tombs. Yeah. So I wanted to make her a little bit more tan than I usually draw. And at first I was thinking, like, should I follow through with this or not? Because at first her skin tone just looked really orange, but I decided to stick through, and now I think it looks a lot better once, like, it's combined with everything else in the image. Because, like, when it was just the skin, it stood out against the white, just, like, not in a good way. Let's see, now I'm working on her necklace. Well, I'm done with that, but I want to talk about it, so I'm going to keep talking about it because now I'm just coloring the plants, and that takes a while. So for the necklace, I couldn't really find one good reference. Like, I found lots of nice pictures, but none of them really, like, matched up with one another, which gave me some issues. So I kind of just, like, combined, like, 3 of the reference pictures to make my own necklace. And it's not really it's not my own at all. It's just other people's, but it doesn't look too, like, different because all of the pictures, like, they varied, but they all looked, like, for the most part similar. So I still think, like, it's fine. I just couldn't find, like, a consistent reference of one. So now I'm working on coloring that big leaf up in the top left, and this was actually kind of fun. It took a while, but it was fun because I tried to make the leaves look shiny, because just, like, I've seen types of leaves that are like that, and they don't really follow how I usually shade. Like, what I usually do is, like, when I'm going darker, I go cooler. When I go light, I go warmer. And I mean, that's generally how it was with this, but with this shiny kind of texture, on the highlight, it didn't go quite as warm. Like, I move it warmer, but then I also, like, make it a lot more towards white, so it's a lot more contrast and less of a hue shift. But I think I like how the texture looks. Not perfect, it would take practice, but I still like it. One thing I used when I was drawing these flowers, those flowers and the flowers right next to them on the bottom, I use gradients to kind of, like, show different colors in them. The colors actually for these flowers, it was kind of hard to choose because I wanted colors that would be bright, because I wanted it to really feel like LARA CROFT was, like, going through this rainforest. But at the same time, I didn't want it to be, like, neon right in your face, like, clashing with each other. And I think there's a really fine line between those two things, and I don't think I'm quite there yet, but it takes practice. Now I'm adding a really simple background, like doing, like, background, like doing splotches and then adding a blur just so there's more depth. Now I'm just adding some dust and overlay, and here is the finished illustration. Remember to rate, comment your suggestions down below, and subscribe. Bye!